this thing, what is that we are discussing actually? We are discussing about the functionality testing, right? Smoke testing actually includes what? Important features only, important functionalities only. Should not take more than 15 minutes or 30 minutes. Okay. Now, input validation, we will definitely apply BV and CP. So, what about the regression testing? How often we need to run? So, let's discuss that. So, regression testing by the very meaning of it, you go back and regress it. And what does it mean? We will discuss more in detail in STLC, which is also known as software testing life cycle. Right now we are discussing about software development life cycle, which is SDLC. So just to give you a brief introduction about regression testing, so it's the opposite of smoke testing, or it's a complement of smoke testing, in the sense that smoke test only covers few features, whereas regression testing covers entire functionality. Should be tested thoroughly. That's the main thing. And the examples of regression testing are system integration testing and end-to-end testing. Okay, so system integration testing is because system and integration with web service and database, everything is included. So you also call it end-to-end testing. So because these are just synonyms. And how often do we run? So majorly we will run according to the methodology we are using. So we'll just discuss about Agile, because nowadays only Agile methodology is used. So in Agile methodology, Agile Scrum methodology especially, so we have short sprints lasting 2 weeks. So all the major functionalities covered in this, and that will be shipped in the sense it will be deployed into the production. So this will include development. I mean, before that development, what is the starting point? Requirements plus development plus including design. I forgot. Design, development. Development includes again 3 developments. So what is it? Java or .html or .NET. So whichever the case may be. Java plus database development plus web service development. Okay, which is SOAP or REST API. So whichever is the case may be. Then finally testing. So all these things will be part of the sprint, and which consists of only those priority wise they will be choosing. Okay, so management will take care of it priority wise, and those requirements will be designed and developed and tested thoroughly, and it will be shipped finally. So that will majorly since it's a 2-week sprints. So obviously after the testing of this, you have to run the whole regression test cases that you have built. Like so far it's accumulation, like so far 100, this will be 5, let's say. So 1 or 5 test case, again you have to rerun. So in this Agile methodology, there are different flavors. Mainly we will be using the Scrum flavor. So I just pull it up. Okay, so let's open this and discuss about this. Okay, so in Scrum methodology, we have a daily Scrum. Okay, so in the morning after you go to office, there will be a 15 or 20 minutes meeting, in which the Scrum Master will ask every one of the team members about what they have done, what they worked on yesterday, and did they face any issues during either development or testing or whatever. So if it is tester, obviously she or he will ask what issues they have encountered during the testing, or are you waiting on something, or are you blocked, are there any roadblocks? If you're not completed, how soon you will be completed, what is the ETA, okay, estimated time of arrival, tell me the rough estimate, are you planning to complete your assigned tasks by noon or by end of the day, stuff like that. And after this is done, what is the new task you are going to pick up, and those things. So it will be briefly question and answer for one candidate will be lasting 1 to 2 minutes, so that they can cover all the candidates, all the team members. Like there may be 10 members or 15 members, so exactly 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. So automation, like I said, sprint lasts for 2 weeks or so. Okay, not necessarily 2 weeks. And at the end of the sprint, they will ask you to run the whole regression suite. And since it's little bit of time consuming, so then comes some question of whether it is automated or not. So mostly it should be automated. If not started, they will soon start it. So in the initial stages, they might not. So that's why sprint automation. And any backlogs in the previous sprints, some defects might not have been fixed due to some technical limitations or time limitations, which are considered as backlogs. So those backlogs will be covered in the any time that is left over in the current sprint. And the planning meeting will be done for the sprint in the beginning, of course. And that will the management with the test manager and all will discuss about what are the different features and functionalities that we are going to introduce in the new sprint and ship it to the production. And any new softwares we need, stuff like that. And accordingly, the scope will be discussed and product backlog will be included, and it will be designed, and that will be put into the story wherever you write the stories. So some people use quality center, some people use ALM, application lifecycle management, Rally. So depending upon the project, they will use the tools. And after the sprint review meeting will be conducted and executed, and there will be retrospective meeting too. In such cases, what went right, what went wrong, and what are the precautionary measures, what is the lessons learned, etc. So this is the overall Agile Scrum methodology structure. There will be some customization, so it's more or less similar. So I just will save this and put it into the Google Drive. Okay, so coming back to this, the regression will run. After the main testing, so this testing actually pertains to the requirement in hand. So regression testing will should cover previous and current test cases. Okay. So regression testing should cover all. So now why there is need of regression testing, I'll just tell you before moving on, because this is totally off the topic. Even though we are not involved in it, still you need to know non-functional. So after this, we will jump back to this as part of STLC. So regression testing, for example, there is a new requirement and it will be developed and it will be tested, right? So after you test, what could happen during the testing? If there are 200 test cases, let's say, okay, either you're testing manually or automation wise. So let's say the result could be 190 test cases have been passed and some 10 test cases have been failed. Okay, so let's say you analyze these 10 test cases. Okay, so out of these 10 test cases, let's say only 5 test cases are bugs. I mean, there are 5 bugs. Bugs means I'll discuss more about the defect life cycle again during the defect has also its life cycle. So bugs are confirmed issues or defects. So 5 bugs are confirmed, so they will be fixed by the developer. Okay, what about the rest of 5? Let's say they failed due to your inability to find them. So you accidentally found those to be bugs, but those were not bugs. Those were working as expected. That's what developer would say. So obviously those 5 bugs are not bugs. So let's minus those. Minus 5 non-issues. So in that case, 15 test cases will be, 5 test cases will be failed and 195 passed. So finally 5. So these will be fixed and you are going to retest them. So after the fix, right? So retesting, after which you only passed 3 test cases. Okay. And there are remaining two bugs, right? So out of 2 bugs, they will say one bug is taking time, so they will postpone it or defer it. Okay. And the other bug is cannot be fixed due to technical limitation. Okay. So now how many backlogs are there? How many backlogs right now? 2 backlogs. So in the next sprint, these will be again looked back into, and if at all, because the technical limitation must have been overcome during the course of time from one sprint to next sprint, so that this can be re-looked into. And the postponement, the deferment also, if they find it a suitable candidate for the next sprint, or if it is important priority wise, they will also include. So these will be put into. So apart from the current sprint requirements, these will be also developed and fixed and tested. So okay, so that's all about the regression testing. Okay, so far we have discussed usability testing and functional testing, out of which functionality testing and smoke testing are the parts.